All right, let's move on to our next topic, which is Carib Cement. This is one that dividend seekers have been keeping an eye on for 10 years. So their 9 months ended September 30, 2023 results are out. David, how did they do?
So for the third quarter in particular, we saw a 13% increase in revenue to $6.99 billion and a 60% jump in net profit to $1.92 billion. A large part in terms of that reduction would have come from, the decline in distribution expenses, the decline in financial expenses since they don't have to be paying on the preference shares or any more debt. So we saw this significant, third quarter performance. And when you check the parent company, the ultimate parent company, which is Cemex, they actually, mention Jamaica in their reports, which is a very rare occurrence. So what does that mean? The Cemex highlighted that, Jamaica had positive volume performance. What does that mean? So we know last year, Carib Cement have increased cement prices by 15%. I'm not sure they increased prices since then, but the reality is if you sell more volume, even the price is the same, you're going to earn more money. That's just how it works. You can also have the case whereby you sell, less volume, but the prices are higher to compensate. In this case, it's not that situation. They're really selling more volume. And they also highlighted in the case of Cemex that, in case of Carib Cement, there is, tourism-related projects going on right now, which is a major driver of, their actual growth in demand as well, alongside, different infrastructure projects as well. And even recently, I believe it was in September, we shipped about, I think it was 3,500 metric tons of cement to Turks and Caicos. So you're seeing, Carib Cement really start to benefit from Jamaica's economic, growth. And in the same breath, they're no longer shackled by the neck under, the debt that kept them constrained for so long. Clear off debt, with Cemex, TCL and even the banks. So now, we're seeing where Carib Cement is increasing their dividend payments, but on the flip side, the stock price, is not really reacting to these continuous improvements. Part of the equation, is with regards to the high interest environment and the market is down. But on the other hand, you do have a lot of shareholders who do hold resentment towards Cemex and, the Carib Cement board, where the way they forced through that royalty back in December 2021. That still does not, blend with a lot of persons. But end of the day, companies growing, you're still seeing this economic activity in Jamaica, and end of the day, they're going to continue to benefit, from the increased number of rooms that are going to come on stream in the coming years. In the case of hotel rooms, we have the new housing developments like Bernard Lodge and other spaces. And the reality is they are somewhat protected, by regulations. So, for example, cargo handlers has a stake in Buying House Cement Limited. They're only allowed to import 120,000 tons of cement per year. That's capped. They can't import more, even if there's more demand in the market. And I remember, there was a company that got a cement license the other day. I think it was capped at probably around 10,000 tons per year, but that's just the reality. So Carib Cement has that space to grow, without the fear of imports, restricting their growth on the flip side. And we're also seeing, whereby into the end of 2024 and 2025, we're going to see them have 30% more capacity on their plant, which would actually feed further into them actually producing more cement, not just for the domestic market, but also for the export market. And this whole sort of expansion we're seeing in manufacturing companies just translates back to the fact that Jamaica and in turn other business partners in the region do see the value in Jamaica. Because even with Cinco, they're spending 5 billion J, about 3.5 around that range million USD in just capital expansion. Sorry, apologies for that. About 30 million USD, not 3.5 million. But end of the day, we're seeing more manufacturing companies expand their capacity to just meet the growing demand in Jamaica.
So, David, you said some nice words about Carib Cement doing well, increasing profitability. Yay, good for them. But is it good for us? What are they saying about dividends? Are they planning to share any of this additional profits with shareholders?
They paid a dividend recently. That was back in October. They paid on October 6th. I don't remember the specific amount, 1.8976. It's an increase above 1.5032 last year. Most of that went to Cemex and TCL, which are the largest shareholders. And my persons who have been accumulating Carib Cement, some of the older folks from the 2000 days to now, the dividend might actually be larger than the actual price they paid for it. And for some persons, actually a 50% yield. So I know somebody who says their parents got them Carib Cement at like $2, I think, and they're not selling it because that's their pension stock. So imagine now almost a $2 dividend and an average price of $3.
Nice.
So the dividends are coming in steadily, or less annually. 2 divided by 50 is about around 4% yield, which isn't bad considering the other market payments as well. So it's not a bad trade-off.
Christopher has a question for you. I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, but he wants to know what is Carib Cement's current PE ratio, and I guess he means the NAV.
I cannot tell you what the NAV is right now, but the good thing is I have a calculator and I can move very fast. I can move very fast to calculate that.
Challenge quiz.
Well, I'm not creative kids, but all right. So 7.79 times for Carib Cement's price to earnings ratio, which is below the market. And, the low PE kind of reflects back to just the negative sentiment that is around Carib Cement, because we've also seen where Mayberry Jamaican Equities Limited, which is one of the largest shareholders, continue to reduce its position in Carib Cement as well. Because back in 2021, it was trading as high as $120. And at the current price, that would have been a P price to earnings ratio of about 20 times. So this significantly reduced price to earnings ratio kind of reflects the negative sentiment around the company. So cap gains kind of limited right now, but the steady increase in dividend payments, which is something that TCL and Cemex wants, will further benefit all the remaining minority shareholders.
I'm going to take this last question from Strong Link, and this is for you guys who watch the market a lot more than I do. I only dabble. I only watch cursory. Strong Link says, did I really see the JSE main market jump over the last few days?
So the reality is end of month is a time for some persons to make money and for other persons to cut losses, but cut losses to a bare minimum. So what you tend to see is that at the end of the month, and especially at the end of the quarter and the end of financial year, you see particular stock prices tend to go up. And based on how our market actually functions, meaning based on the way the market cap is calculated, larger companies sometimes tend to see an increase in their price, and because they have strong disproportionate impact on the weights on the market, you tend to see that significant increase in turn as well. So you've seen the different securities on the market go considerably. So like yesterday, I got some PBS at $1.40, so at $1.5499 today. I had a couple of securities I sold today as well. Even I believe it was separate from $71, $78, just from I started today and the day. You've seen other securities have that similar impact or event, and it's not necessarily the case whereby somebody has something in particular over you. In some instances, it's just a little bit of rebalancing, and that rebalancing in turn, requires higher prices because fund managers get paid based on the valuations of assets that they manage. So at the end of the month, the best bid price and the closing prices are going to be higher. But by tomorrow, you're going to see a downturn in some of these securities and in turn the market index. It's something you can track actually, every month and backtrack the data and backtest it. So I hope that kind of makes some sense. And I would just able to, go and check how stocks and other securities are measured, by accounting purposes. It can give you some insight, as to what potential security you can actually look at to potentially take advantage of at end of month or particular periods to make money for you. Somebody that looks at
Lithium was saying to myself, look like Jamaica got paid. Mountain, as you say, mundane activity. Well, thank you so much, David. Thank you as well, Andre. Appreciate you guys as usual. And we'll see you again very soon.